the fact that this city is headed for a disaster of biblical proportions. What it means is Old Testament in there, real wrath of God type stuff. Fire breaks on the skies.
I don't want to hear about it. Listen, I hear all these people whining. Everyone, all they do is whine. They want to whine, and it's like, the old man, get off my lawn. And like, I don't like this, and you're taking away money from artists by using AI. Well, listen, if there's somebody out there that can write a better song than the robots now, then you just let me know. Because here we are setting the standard, raising the bar, probably the only radio show on an FM broadcast signal over here. Look at that. There's a real radio microphone that this is happening. And I'm telling you what, here I have a real radio microphone. And yes, if the robots are going to sit there and make better music than the humans, then listen, you can go ahead and throw the arrows at me all you want to. It's just felt. And you know what? I'm going to get a facial anyway. No, not that type of facial. Anyways, broadcasting live from the Overcast campus here at the University of Richmond. You're listening to 90.1 FM from the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell. I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday morning. I want to thank everyone, of course, for joining into the show. See a couple other people already in here already. Anyways, Josh Miller. What is it? Casual Toy Collector. A couple of other people here. Lone Dragon, I see. Now we're all over social media. Ash Bailey, Crypto Alchemist, a whole bunch of people that are joining the show. Of course, Mary Murs first. Listen, I just got to be careful. I start dropping this biblical language, and using words that are in the Bible. I have to start actually putting pennies in the penny jar. And then that penny jar then gets taken to a local religious organization and gets, put somewhere else. That's a lot better. Sir Philosopher has joined us. Sir Philosopher has the show after this one. And, he doesn't, he's about to get caught off guard. But did you know that this show was given a fourth hour? Oh, it was. Now, I know if you've been listening to Mixtapes, maybe Mixtapes thought that he got an extra hour. But no, the facts are that we got an extra hour. Now, I'm not going to do anything. I'm sure that Sir Philosopher already has something planned for today. But I'm just going to tell you right now that there are some exciting things happening in the world of radio. And because that is happening, I do think that we will, have some executive pull here. But I think that we're going to try something different in a couple of weeks. Right? Yeah. We're going to have a bridge show that bridges this show and Mixtapes. And but we have to work out all the kinks, and then there's other things, and there's a bunch of classified information that me and Sir Philosopher have to talk about. But Sir Philosopher is one of the best, which is the reason why that a joint venture, if you will, I think is in order. Are you listening to Mixtapes? If you're not listening to Mixtapes, I don't know what you're doing. If you're not listening to art before this show, I don't know what you're doing. Because WDCE, this is just a small little radio signal that goes out about 8 to 10 miles. But we broadcast all over the world. All over the world, we broadcast by the Live 365 app or WDCE.org. And I can't tell you and stress enough that art before this show and Mixtapes after this show sets the standard and raises the bar. It makes me better. It makes me better as a Saturday morning radio host myself. You might not think that that's the case, but it's true. Because art sets the standard and raises the bar, because Sir Philosopher sets the standard and raises the bar, it makes me want to set the standard and raise the bar. But they gave me an extra hour. They gave me an extra hour to work with. And I think that, what was that? The producer. Can I just say real quick that I have an award-winning producer producing this show? Right. Well, I know that Uncle Jeff always says that. But yes, so Uncle Jeff's producer, 3 to 6 WRVA. Uncle Jeff's producer is my producer. So I got to give my producer a shout out. And he sat there and said, hey, listen, look at the schedule. And of course, I could have been greedy and said, well, I'm just going to take another hour to myself. But I told my producer, I said, you know what? You're the award-winning producer. Why don't you think of something? So we'll think of something, and it'll be really good. It'll be really good. And we're about to say, it is an election season. I would think maybe a talk show. Who, me? No, I'm not going to do it. Listen, I peel out of here at noon. It's going to have to be you, Citizen Germ and Sir Philosopher. Haven't you guys known each other for like 20 plus years? All right, then you guys will be fine. So you guys will be okay. It'll be just fine. And maybe what you should do is you should open up the phone lines. I have like a lunch break. Call it the lunch break sesh. Light it up. It's the lunch break sesh on a Saturday morning. Something like that. But anyways, just yeah, well, no, what does Sir say? All good, Sam. Oh, you're gonna pass it off now, huh? No, well, pass what? Puff pass? No, not that. No, stop it. See, you're distracting me. Anyway, Sir Philosopher mixtapes going to be here at noon today, and once again, he sets the standard and he raises the bar. And like I said, so you should be listening to mixtapes after the show. Mixtapes is also the official show of the Wake and Bake Picture Take with Skydro Walker. You take pictures with your action figures and toys. Kind of a Wake and Bake Picture Take after the show, after party. Usually has Sir Philosopher all going around. So, oh, Sir Philosopher says, we'll kill it with Citizen Germ. Yeah, well, I guess you would. Mud Scuffer. Oh my gosh, Mud Scuffer. Can I just tell you real quick? I know Mud Scuffer gives me smack. He talks smack all the time. Suck it, Sam. God love Mud Scuffer. Are you following Mud Scuffer? Mud Scuffer is one. He did this picture of Willie Nelson playing the guitar. Oh my gosh. I almost want to get a print of that and hang it up on my wall. Anyways, follow Mud Scuffer. Are you into action figure photography? I bring up action figures and action figure photography. It is Saturday morning. Shout out to Anime Figure Statue Collector. Shout out to Sergeant Curtis Schultz. Sergeant Schultz. Sorry, I used your government name. Sorry. John Sakers. John Sakers joining us as well. A couple of other people joining in. Cato's Collection. I can't tell you, I can't stress enough that Cato's review of the Valaverse Vanguard probably sums it all up. What a piece of trash. Yeah, nothing says trash more than General Vala, who listens to his consumers and sets the standard and raises the bar himself. Gosh, it's such a terrible thing. It must be terrible. Terrible. Chewbacca, shout out to Chewbacca. Cato said, yes, absolutely garbage is what he said. But it's what a bunch of jokers, right? Did you see where Ramen Toy is going so they released the bread van. They call it a bread van. Ramen Economical Vehicle, the REV. The Ramen Economical Vehicle. First vehicle that is $100, less than $100. But I think is that before? Is that with shipping? I have to ask Ace. But anyways, it's $99. I'm going to get an old white rickety van. An old white rickety van. Well, I don't know if it's rickety. It'll probably come all nice and shiny. I have to send it to some toy painter and customizer and have them rickety up my van. Well, so that way I can have, Shady Toys hand out ice cream to other toys in Toy Town, right? Shipping for the Rev is $50. Oh my gosh, come on. They get you one way. They don't get you another way. Oh my gosh. So did you hear about the Rezvani and actually licensed. Did you hear about that? The Resvani it's a licensed vehicle. You know what the worst thing about General Vala and this whole action force stuff is that he goes out and he actually gets a licensed vehicle, a real vehicle. Yeah, and then it has cup holders, and those cup holders, they're coffee cup holders, right? Right? Well, you know what Cato just told me? He just said that the coffee cup holders, they only came with decaf. They only came with decaf? What do you mean they only came with decaf? They only came with oh my gosh. Listen. Did you hear that, the general might think about going back to Griff Starter? Well, I mean, everybody else is doing Griff Starter. I almost canceled my Brutal Realms, pledge. Of course I got Grimskull. Hail Grimskull. I got Grimskull, but I almost canceled that because I see these jokers on like another podcast saying, oh, well, listen, when the next Griff Starter, we already got the next Griff Starter around. The Griff Starter? Are you kidding me? And then, of course, I do know that, my buddy Cato called, he's like, well, Sam, listen, I've looked into it with Jacob Kane and all this. And I'm like, I don't care. We're talking. Jacob Kane does have legs if promoted or pitched. But then somebody said, oh, well, Sam, that's the only thing you can do, to stay away from the suits. But guess what? Here I am wearing a suit, setting the standard, raising the bar, doing what I was born to do. Can I tell you that I can tap dance with the suits? Hell, I could probably river dance with the suits. Look at me. Setting the standard, raising the bar, winning awards on radio, back-to-back years. You know that I could actually go to the Guinness committee and say, hey, Guinness, has there ever been a media puppet that has won back-to-back radio awards? And Guinness would say, no. Well, there hasn't been. Well, listen, light it up. Light it up. Guess what? The only, not applying to Guinness only makes it fair for everyone else. I mean, here I am already a real media puppet on the radio. Nobody gets that. And then I'm setting the standard and raising the bar, winning awards everywhere. Nobody gets that. It's like, well, what has to be done? What has to be done? What did they say when the Hindenburg was in flames? Oh, the humanity. I'm going to go to Hasbro with Jacob Kane and do a HasLab. Well, daggone it, Cato, that's the spirit. That's the spirit. I mean, think about it. You come up with Jacob Kane, that's one great idea. You probably come up with a couple others. That's just the start. That's just the start. What is that? Another Brett. Anyways, Big M. I see another Brett. Anyways, shout out to another Brett, or however you say it. Is it Master of my something 2019? Anyway, so there's that. Big M. Shout out to Big M. This is an interactive show. I know I'm a little ADD right now, but this is an interactive show. Here we are. We're streaming live on 4 different channels. We have Instagram, SamCam. Hello, everyone. Hello. And then we have, we're over here. Yes. We have Facebook, YouTube, and X right here. Hello, Facebook, YouTube, and X. Haha. So we're here. We're streaming live on 4 different video streams. 4 different videos. Pastry Chefin joining in. She posted something earlier this week talking about the ADD brain. That's really what that idea came from. And is the whole ADD brain. People are like, "Oh, you're so calm," and it's like, and what does my mind look like? My mind looks like this. My head goes around. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm telling you, that's my brain. My brain is nuts. It is. And Pastry Chefin is the only one that sat there and could actually articulate. C2 Catering, they'll see to it that your C2 Catering, yeah, right. C2 Catering, they will see to it that your catering needs are met. That's right. only at C what? C squared. That C squared doesn't sound right. C2 catering just rolls off the tongue. I have pastry chefing and sous chef Skydro setting the standard and raising the bar. And they see C2 catering. They see to it that they will execute every single meal that you need for your event. And see, that's another line. Here I am, I'm just giving out amazing lines. But the reason why I say that is they're in Oklahoma. I know. Here we are, we're broadcasting in Richmond, but we have listeners in Oklahoma. We have listeners in California. California is on the West Coast. Shout out to Anime Figure Statue Collector. We have people in the Pacific Northwest. We have people all over the country. If you're all over the country listening to this, type in Instagram or type in Facebook, YouTube, and X. Just type in real quickly where you are from. Casual, of course, the Casual Toy Collector, which you can listen to every Friday and Saturday night at 10:30. It is an adult-only show, but they talk about action figures and toys and some other stuff, but very adult-oriented content. Don't want to bring the kiddies around. It's After Hours, the after-hours show at the Kaz Bar. Casual says that he's from Georgia. Let's see here. Michigan. We got Michigan from Sergeant Schultz. We have Florida, Oklahoma from Skydro. Cato's in North Carolina. Like I said, Dead Man is over in what is it? Is he in Washington? Is he in Washington or Oregon? He's in Washington. Triple D. He's in the Pacific Northwest as well. A bunch of other people, of course, Ace Ramen Toy, that's over in Singapore. Has some other people in Japan, have people in Europe listening. There's people all around the world. And people, Merle Avenue is where Ash Bailey's from. No, okay, but there's people listening all over the world. All over the world. And of course, we're very excited about that. The reason why I say that is because we made the top 3. We made the top 3 for the best morning radio show in Virginia by the Richmond Times-Dispatch. Do we have a Richmond Times-Dispatch over there? We do. Richmond Times-Dispatch. And I was going to sit there and talk about this story about people not showing up for school. I guess we'll do that. We'll push that now back to the 11 o'clock hour. Maybe we'll talk about people showing up and not showing up at schools then. Well, the 11 o'clock hour, 11:11 is when we will turn on the Sam Cams again. But we do got some themes I want to play here, and then I'm going to come back with a small radio segment and talk about, well, what we're going to play. Now, the professor is not around. And the Professor Deep Cut Dave is not around. And it is a superhero summer. We've been dealing with superheroes and superhero songs and all of that stuff. And the professor still sent me a list, sent me some songs. They told me what to go over. So I've been talking long enough right now, even though I could probably just keep on going. But we're going to head out here. I see there's 17 people on the other streams. There's a mixture of people. There's a couple of people over here on other. Tell everybody that we are Mark Crom, Mahala Crackers. That's right. Indiana is Big M. But what's going to happen is that I'm going to go radio only. And we're going to play these cartoon themes that Dave sent in. I'm going to come back after we play a couple of these. I'm going to talk about them for just a few moments, and then we'll turn back the Sam Cams on at about 11:11. So that's at Sam Newsman all over social media is where you're going to find me. Make sure you download the Live 365 app. Search WDCE, and you'll be able to listen to us there. Or you can just go to WDCE.org. Right, so those are the places that you can go. And I guess that's about it. Do we have anything else we need to talk about? No? All right, so we'll come back in just a few moments. Radio only. I'll talk about these jams that Dave sent me. They're really great. Like I said, superhero summer. And yeah, that's how we do it. We're going to end off with a couple of classics. These are a couple of classics. And I'll talk about them here on the other side of this break. Broadcasting live from the Overcast campus here at the University of Richmond. You're listening to 90.1 FM here on the only radio show dedicated to the magic and nostalgia of Saturday morning, hosted by me, a real award-winning media puppet from the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell. I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday morning.
When Captain America throws his mighty shield, all those who go to oppose his shield are killed.